Greetings, starseeds, lightworkers, empaths, energy healers, walk-ins, and the like. So welcome, Star Nations. We are coming on today to share with you a little bit about the mind and the mental body and our understanding of how our mental body, our individual mental body, works in conjunction with the collective, with the human consciousness and the other mental bodies around us. So I've been undergoing quite a study of this mental body and this mind over the last 7 years or so. And I'll share with you that approximately 6 or 7 years ago, I went through another spiritual self-mastery course. Self-Mastery of Loving Presence was what it was called. And in the course, we were the teacher of the course, the founder of the Divine University, Kuala Shriyama, offered each of us as participants the theme of our keepership. The keepership being our soul's mastery, what our soul already has mastery of, and what we came here to express, open and express of that mastery. And so when she shared with me that my keepership was the keeper of the tablets of freedom and grace, she commissioned from the masters a to bring through the artwork of these tablets, and specifically the tablets for freedom of the mind, grace for the soul, and higher self connection. So that was the first commission that I was given throughout this course and beyond. So these tablets were created, and we've been working with them on and off since then. Now, when she first gave me this charge and this instruction, I had absolutely no idea what any of it meant. Probably exactly like you right now. I'm saying all of these words, they sound good. What the hell do they mean, right? What is freedom of the mind? What is freedom of the mind, right? So I was given a commission to draw this artwork, these tablets, these sacred tablets of freedom of the mind, but I had no idea what that even meant, right? And so in the process of aligning to these tablets from my higher self, from my divine presence, which holds the tablets or holds access to the tablets, right? So in the process of aligning to them and bringing through the frequency of them, I began to walk this journey of discovery of what freedom of the mind is and what it means to have freedom of the mind. And so I'm going to share with you a few of these discoveries. So when I was first on this journey, I was seeking in the community, in the spiritual community, some information about this, right? And so I connected with another keeper in this community who also had a very similar theme about the mind. And what he shared with me at the time was that when you're exploring the mind, you need to know what mind you are exploring, that the mind is actually a field of energy. It's a field of energy. It's not contained here in the brain. It is a field of energy. And that is why psychics and intuitives and energy healers and medical intuitives, all of those people, they can move their conscious awareness outside of their body and discover information that is not in the physical or that's beyond the physical senses. It's because they can travel, they can move their awareness, their consciousness through their mind field or through the mind field or energy field of those around them and beyond. It's unlimited, infinite in regards to where your consciousness can travel. So when I had this conversation, right, the person was explaining that there's different fields of the mind. There's different mind fields. So you have your individual mind, the mind of Jen, the mind of Zara. You have your human family mind, yeah? The mind of your tribe, your tribal mind, the belief systems, what you've inherited among the tribe. And a really fun example of this that I sort of discovered by accident is my sister and I were we were camping and we were folding things back up, and we were helping each other fold things back up, and we were folding things exactly the same, and we were cleaning exactly the same. We had the same mind on how to do things most efficiently because we grew up in this collective of doers and entrepreneurs, and these very simple things, these simple things like folding sheets, folding up tents, we did them the same because we were of the same mind. We were of the same family mind, right? So you have a familiar soul lineage mind field, ancestral mind. Yeah. And this ancestral mind influences us way more than we imagine. So you've got your individual mind, you've got your tribal mind, your soul ancestral lineage mind. Yeah. And then you have the communal mind. Yeah. If you're engaging in groups, you've got let's say you have a church group. Yeah. This is a mind of the church, of the religious organization that we belong to, our community. Yeah, that has those have particular belief systems, right? And then educational systems, and then beyond human consciousness, collective consciousness, right? And then beyond that, we've got the Buddhic mind, we've got the Christed mind, we've got the divine mind. These are levels of consciousness, levels of mind that are beyond usually what we are normally in contact with in our day-to-day lives. These other mind fields, these ascended mind fields. These ascended mind fields are beyond duality. They're beyond black and white. They're beyond right and wrong. They're beyond us versus them. They are unity consciousness minds. Yeah. So I want to just share with you, because you're empaths, because you're light workers, because you're starseeds and walk-ins and all of that really amazing good stuff. I want to show you a little something here that may pique your curiosity. So I'm going to share my screen. I hope. Here we go. I hope this works. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm on screen and the thing is on screen. So let me just share with you super quick. This is my human design chart. My human design chart. So human design is a new system that has come into the human conscious collective pretty recently, within the last 20 to 30 years, I think. I'm not a guru on this system at all. I don't know a lot about it. I know a very little bit about human design. I find it fascinating. It's really cool. It's really, really helps to organize your mind around who you are as an energy field, as aura. It specifically speaks to your aura mechanics and how your aura mechanics interact with the world, and how following some of the aura mechanics that are your unique design, it will lead you to your highest life path. Okay, so that's the basics of human design. You want more information? YouTube, Human Design Basics. You'll get some information. You can Google free human design chart and pull yours up, and then you can pretty much YouTube most of the information on there. But what I'm showing you here today is my human design chart. And what I really want you to look at here is the the head and ajna center here at the top. You've got this triangle here and this triangle here. Yeah. Now, what's interesting about human design is that all of the white pieces, all of the white centers, they're called, are undefined or open centers. And the ones that are colored are defined centers. So the defined centers, you receive a consistent amount of energy through, and they work in a consistent, stable way in your life. The open centers or undefined centers are the centers where we are influenced, most influenced by the collective human consciousness or by those around us. Yeah. And so I want you just to be aware on my chart here, I've got an open head center and I have an open ajna center. I also have an open throat center. Now, I could go on and on and on about this. Those of us who have open throat centers, oftentimes we are not feeling heard and we're not feeling listened to. Okay. And so one of the tricks about the open throat center is that we need to wait for the invitation to speak. When we have the invitation to speak, then we are listened to. But until we have that information to speak, a lot of times we're talked over. Nobody's hearing us. So I've discovered that little tidbit. That's fun. So the invitation to speak is like just basically, hey, Zara, what do you think? Or what's going on in your life? Or, just somebody turns to you their attention and asks you a question, and then it's your turn to speak. But I've had this really interesting experience of like trying to speak or trying to like insert into the conversation of the group and just being totally talked over, disregarded. And it's just this very weird, very strange sensation. But instead of taking it personally, because I understand now that I have an open throat center. Okay, so I have an open throat center. The gift of this open throat center allows me to share with you information in a way that you will be able to understand it. Not only you, but all of the different walks of life. So I have the ability, the gift here, to take these concepts, right, and speak them in a way that the person that I'm speaking to will understand. They'll get it because I'm speaking in their language. And this happens automatically as part of my aura mechanics. So this is why it's interesting to kind of discover what your aura mechanics are. What are your gifts and what are your challenges according to your human design, and see if it's accurate for you and how to work with them. So that is, again, that's another topic. What I want to show you is these open head center and open ajna center. So a lot of us have this. Now, up until I discovered that I have an open head and open ajna center, I would be really envious of those people in the world that carry all of the data in their head. They know the data. They know the facts. I was in a relationship with someone who knew all of the names of the politicians in the Senate, in the House, in the Congress, and also knew all their backgrounds. They knew all the scandals. They knew how they voted. They knew this information in their head. They didn't have to have a piece of paper. They didn't have to research it. They heard the information. It locked in their head because that's what they were interested in. And they kept that information in their head. Oh my God. How do you do that? How do you do that? It's amazing. It's amazing to me that people can do this. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there in the world that can do this. And so like, why can't I do this? Why does nothing stay in my head? Why can't I remember anything that's important? Any of the data that's important? I don't remember it. And the answer is not that I have a deficiency, not that something is broken within me. The answer is that my head and ajna center are open. They're open so the data doesn't stay in there. So there's a gift and a curse to each of these. Okay. So the gift of the open head center, I would say the curse of the open head center is the data just goes through, and the facts don't remain. And I can't be certain, right, about these facts because I heard it, but I'm not certain about it anymore. So those facts don't stay. So no problem. But the gift here of the open head and the open ajna center is that the information that I need is available when I need it. It drops in. It drops into my consciousness. I'm able to channel information from these higher realms because it drops into my consciousness. And because I have an open head and ajna center, it's a receiver. It receives new information, yeah, and then brings it down for integration. And so that's the gift of this open head and ajna center. Now, what is important for us to understand, all of us out there that have this open head and ajna center, is that other people's energy in the form of thoughts and ideas enter into our mind because it's open. And so these other thoughts, other ideas enter into our mind, and we believe because they're in our mind that they're sourcing from within us. And this is not necessarily true. So, as someone with an open head and ajna center, it's really important that we have an intention of where we're going to place our consciousness, our conscious awareness. Where are we going to place it? What are we going to allow our thoughts to chew on, meditate on? And the beauty and the bliss of the experience of not having anything going on up there, being in a state of bliss in the mind, blank. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Imagine like the surface of a calm lake going on in your mind. Yeah, that is a really beautiful state to be in. No thoughts, just calm. So how do we get there, right? Let me stop this screen share. I wanted to show you that as a picture so you have the idea. So regardless, right, if you have the open head or ajna center, you want to be able to get a grip on what your mind is doing and where it's resting, in what band of consciousness it's resting in. If you're resting in fear, anxiety, worry, you're not resting, right? But if your consciousness is in a state of fear, anxiety, worry, yeah, then there are tools, there are ways to climb out of that, to shift your consciousness, to change your awareness, to move from the fear, the anxiety, the worry into a state of greater peace, a state of greater harmony, the feeling of faith, being in faith instead of fear. Yeah. And there is an amazing recording. I'm going to put, if you visit this recording on my YouTube channel, once it's uploaded on the YouTube channel, if you visit it on the YouTube channel, I am going to place in there for you who are experiencing fear, anxiety, worry, amazing video from another person entirely, with some amazing tools, simple tools to assist you in shifting out of that mind frame. I highly recommend that video. I'm going to place in the comments. So check it out if you are in that state of fear, anxiety, worry. The mind. I have, because of my open head and ajna center, I've lost my train of thought here. So let me just find it again. We were talking about the human consciousness, human conscious collective mind field, and then the ascended realms of light, the ascended mind field of the ascended masters, and the unity consciousness, the Christed mind, the Buddhic mind. So let's see here. Having the experience of being affected or influenced by the human collective consciousness mind is an experience that we will always have. However, the length and duration that we stay in it and how much it influences our state of being is a choice that we have to make. So we can come out of it. It takes some work. It takes some conscious intention. It takes some changing of certain habits that we might be accustomed to for more positive habits. One of the things that we can do that was my first gift that was given to me by a spiritual counselor when I was about 27 years old was a mantra. Mantra is super powerful because it focuses your mind on your voice, your sound. And even if you're doing it silently, it's focusing your mind on something other than the fear, anxiety, worry that it may have been chewing on before, right? So when you're in that state, you're thinking about this, you're worried about this, I'm not sure what decisions to make, what choices to make in my life in regards to this situation, and it's super heavy. One of the great spiritual teachings is that the solution cannot be found at the same vibration as the problem. So when our mind is chewing on the problem, chewing on the anxiety, chewing on the fear, whatever it is, chewing on the decision, the solution cannot drop in because our mind is already occupied with the problem. And so in order to find the solution or receive the solution, it's not about finding, it's about receiving the solution to whatever it is that we're wrestling with. We have to get our mind out of the vibration of the problem. And we have to raise the vibration of the mind above the vibration of the problem. And we do that by focusing our mind on the spiritual realm, on the realm of spirit, on the realm of the divine, on the realm of the ascended consciousness, where there is no problem, So we focus our intention, our awareness into the mind of God, of the divine, of Buddha, of Christ. And the problem, the issues, the frequency of the problem drops away from our being, and we begin to rest in this more peace, more harmony place, more stillness. And so one of the tools is mantra. These are mala beads, okay? And these are, I love these. They're smoky quartz with some carnelian. I picked them up at the Buddhist temple up here in Woodstock, New York. And I wear them almost every day just because they have such great, beautiful crystalline energy. Anyways, mala beads, 108 beads for 108 repetitions of your prayer, 108 mantras. Very similar to the rosary, right? But you're going to be saying a mantra for each one of these little beads. These come in all different sizes, all different kinds of materials, all different kinds of price ranges. I really, really, really recommend purchasing yourself a set of mala beads. So way back when, I took a course on chanting malas. And so I'm just going to give you the basics here. Traditionally, you want the mala bead to be 108 prayers, traditionally 108 beads. This here is your counter, right? So it's your counter bead here. This is where you start and where you end. And the logistics of this is that you move forward around until you come back to this little big bead here. So it's recommended not to use your pointer finger when you're doing a mala, and you instead just use your middle fingers and your thumbs and you move through it, right? The mantra that was given to me way back when was the Tara mantra. It was Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. And you just move one bead at a time all the way around the circle, right? Until you get to this big counter again. Now, a lot of times you'll be so groovy, feeling so high and so groovy that you may want to do a second round of mala beads, in which case you do not cross over the bead, but you go backwards. You go backwards all the way to the counter again. Yep. All right. So that's the basics. Go forward. Don't use your pointer. And then you go, once you hit that mala bead, you can quit. Once you go all the way around. So here we go. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha, Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha, Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha, all the way around one by one by one by one. We get to this counter bead. Oh, we're done for the day. We did our 108. And then but we feel so good. We just feel like staying in it. I'm going to do another 20 minutes. And do it again. So I'm going to do 2 rounds of mala beads. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. I'm going backwards, one by one, all the way back around till we hit the mala again. And that's it. That is your mala. So the traditional practice of a mala bead is 108 prayers every day for 40 days. If you forget and you skip a day, traditionally, you are meant to start over from the beginning, your 40-day practice again. So it's really, really important if you're going to do a 40-day practice to do it every day at the same time, get it done. A lot of times if I have forgotten to do it, I'll actually lay in bed and just like speed mala through it just so I get in that day. All right. And it's all, you know what? It's all just good enough. Better than nothing, right? So if you're not perfect, don't worry about it. If you're interested in working with some mala beads yourself and you would like a mala chosen for you by pendulum, leave a comment in the description that you would like to try this practice for yourself, for your mind, and I will drop you a chant for yourself. Yeah, I'll choose one for you via pendulum, let you know all about it, and return that to you so you can play with this. All right.